Stanley Cleaning Company has an exciting new service they are offering, and I can't wait to tell you about it. Laundry. Yes, they will come to your house, and for $15 a load, they will pick it up, take it, wash it, dry it, fold it, and bring it back to you. This is something I have dreamed about since I became an adult and started doing laundry on my own. Hit them up and get your place cleaned and your laundry done by my friends over at Stanley Cleaning Company. You can find them on Facebook or give her a call or a text at 765-860-3606. I'm Kayla Keith, and this is Missing Midwest, a true crime podcast about those that have gone missing. Today, we are going to California to talk about a tragic and mysterious case that has left everyone baffled for years. What happened to Bryce Laspisa? Someone knows something.
Hey, welcome back.
Hi.
Goodness.
Oh my gosh.
It's been a wild ride over the last few weeks, people. We're sorry that we've been
I'm
gone.
sorry. I'm really sorry, honestly.
If I'm being honest, it's 100% Kayla's fault.
He's not lying. It's my fault. I am a klutz. I have never, ever tried to claim to be athletic. I am not. You all know that I broke my leg in May carrying our baby. That one ended up working out pretty well. I broke it, but they were like, no surgery, wear this leg brace, you can walk. And I was like, cool. And so I had to use crutches for like maybe a week or two until it didn't hurt as bad. And then I wore the boot and then it was fine and it got better. But then 2 weeks ago, it's been 2 weeks, right? Yeah, because we skipped 2 weeks.
2 weeks ago today.
We skipped 2 weeks of podcast. Oh, it has been 2 weeks ago.
As we're recording this anyways, yeah.
I was walking in my bedroom. I wish I had a cool story.
Me too. I wish, I figured we'd make something else up, but you've just been telling everybody the truth. So
I'm not going to lie, but you're probably going to be like, you should have lied after I tell you this, but I literally, you guys, I was just walking through my bedroom and there was like some clothes on my floor.
We had just been camping. So
we had like unpacked. And so I had a couple piles of like laundry and there was this beach bag and I didn't see it. And we have hardwood floors and I stepped on it and I slipped and lost my balance. And I just landed weirdly on my leg and straight snapped my leg, like snapped it in half. And it hurt really bad. And we went to the hospital and I ended up having surgery a week later. So I'm a week out from surgery now. It hurts really bad. And I cannot walk on it for 10 weeks. No weight for 10 weeks. And so I broke the leg and then I had to wait a week for surgery and it hurt really bad. And I was just like learning how to like do life without a leg. And so I skipped that week and then I had to have the surgery and I'm breastfeeding Raylan still. And so I was like, I'm going to do this without pain medicine, which hurt really bad as well. And so I've just been, me and ibuprofen have just been BFFs. And it's just been really hard. And then I went through this honestly depressive stage that I'm still kind of in because it is just, I can't pick my baby up and walk her. I can't drive. It's just like, you know how when you don't realize how often you swallow your own spit until you have strep throat. You don't realize how much you use a leg until you're on a leg, but you think but you really don't. I mean, there's just the simplest of things I can't do anymore. And every day I just find something else that I can't freaking do because I have a cast on my leg. But
this all happened so my school started that Thursday was teacher day. And so this Tuesday, Kayla and I were going to go and decorate my classroom. Obviously, Kayla is the talent on that end. I am just there to teach stuff. She's there to make my room look cool. And so it was we were getting ready to go to my classroom all day and decorate it for the next 2 days so that it looked awesome when the kids got there. And that didn't happen. So then
there's another thing I screw up. The poor kids have an ugly classroom because I broke my leg.
So it's not the Kayla Keith touch that they would have gotten otherwise. But just getting back to school, back to teaching, coaching football, all those things. It's had
Taking care of a
me
baby at home. So I
taking
was
care of
so
a wife at
excited.
home. Yeah, it's been exhausting for me.
You know, shut up. I was so excited. The boys are going back to school, and yeah, I had Raylan right at the end of the school year, and so we haven't really established our normal routine because summer is an off routine for us. When you have a teacher, a husband, and 2 kids, like we had a routine, but it was a temporary summer routine, and so I was excited to get back into the back to school routine, and it just completely shot to hell because there's nothing normal about not even. You should see me trying to get my child without any help during the day. I'm like trying to like wheel her, and I push her in the stroller with. I have a knee scooter, which I obviously pimped it out. I painted my cast, and it's got a cup holder and a cute little basket. But still, it's just been it's been rough. So please forgive us for taking 2 weeks off.
Forgive us for the super long intro. We'll get to your crime here pretty soon. We had to update you on our lives.
If you know us, you're probably asking, how does this crap always happen to you? I also would like to know, if you find out, our family would like to know. It's always something with us.
I just feel like every time we have to call our parents to tell them something crazy happened, they are just like, I feel like when our phone rings.
I didn't want to call them.
I feel like when our phone rings, they're like, oh, crap.
What's going on now?
They're calling us.
I know. When I texted your family, I said, I know this is going to come as a shock to you all, but I broke my leg today. And they're like, what? Like, they're not
I
even
called your mom,
anymore.
and I was like, I need you to come back. Like, I got to take Kayla to the hospital. And can you stay with the kids? She was like, are you serious? I was like, yeah, like, I'm not joking about this. She was like, again? She fell again? I was like, they're probably just going to arrest me when I get there. I'm probably just going to, I'm coming in willingly.
The husband did it. The husband
Come on now. Come on.
Or the husband probably did it. And I know you're probably also thinking, like, do you need a leg to podcast? No, you don't.
It's been a crazy couple weeks.
It's just been rough, and I just needed some time to process my new life for a while. Okay?
Thank you for your grace.
I had texted a friend of ours who's a police officer to like give him crap about some crappy police work, and he fired back with
not his
crappy police work. Well, I mean, I'm just mean like that, so I was doing it. But he was like, I didn't know you took a leg to podcast. I was like, okay, touche, but also like I've been adjusting my entire life. So I'm sorry. Forgive us. We're back.
We're back.
Minus a leg.
Minus a leg.
For the next 10 weeks. Minus a leg, but...
I'm kind of losing my voice, but we'll get through it. I'd rather lose my voice than my leg, for sure.
Just say a prayer that, we can just be normal. Be normal people.
I have actually had zero problem being normal this entire time. Just been pretty normal. You're the issue.
You're right. It's me. I'm
it's
the
you.
problem.
You're talking about this. All this crazy stuff happens to us.
Hey, we're married. It is us, okay?
Facts.
You're part of it. So that's why we took the break. We just sat sorting through all that if you don't care and you just want to hear the case. Which is fine, because I don't honestly want to hear about it anymore either. I'm over it. I'm just going to get on my scooter and drive away. Wheel away. My kids like the scooter.
Heavens.
I need to get a bell for it. A little ding. Yeah. Okay, so we are going, as I said in the intro, to California.
That's definitely not the Midwest.
It's not the Midwest, but again, we can do what we want because it's our podcast. But we do start in the Midwest, in Naperville.
Okay.
Up by Chicago. We are going to talk about Bryce Laspisa, okay? He graduated high school in Naperville. However, his parents retired early, and so they were like, we're piecing out of here and we're going to Cali. And they were moving. Bryce was the only child, and so they're like, you graduated high school, we're going to California. So Bryce is like, okay, cool. And so he decided he's going to go with them. And so they moved all the way from Illinois to just a town just north of Roseville in Orange County, California. Sorry, I said that wrong. They moved to Orange County. Bryce decided to go to college north of Roseville, which is just 90 miles past Sacramento. It was like 7 hours away from his parents. He probably was like, I just moved across the country with you. Like, I need some space for college. So maybe one a little bit further
We went
away.
to college 30 minutes away from our parents.
That was far enough for me. Bryce obviously wanted some distance from his parents, but he still was like on board for the California thing. So he was a very good artist.
Okay.
And so he was going to study graphic design and industrial design at Sierra College. Like I said, it's like 7 hours from where his parents just moved to. And so he was going to go start, he had the summer in California, and then he was going to start his freshman year there. His first year was great, went smooth. He got great grades. He became really close with his freshman roommate. His name was Sean Dixon, and he began dating a girl named Kim. And so he was doing great. He was living life. During summer break, he told his parents and his girlfriend that he was really excited to get back to school for his sophomore year. Seemed good. Everything was going. Bright future, good grades, good relationships, good friends. Bryce returned to Sierra 2 weeks before classes were getting ready to start. He was living with Sean again, his roommate. Karen, his mom, her name was Karen. She said that she had a phone call with him after he had moved back, and it was completely normal. He said he was, getting his school stuff and just getting ready to start classes again. Glad to see his friends again.
I remember that. I remember going back after,
Totally fine.
I remember going back to my sophomore year of college, being so amped about it.
Yes, but yes, you know what you're doing now.
Yes,
it's good.
These are my friends, man. I live with these people, yes. Family. Yes.
So yeah. Things are fine. However, not long after that phone call with his mom, Bryce's life just kind of started going downhill. Kim and Sean, Kim the girlfriend, Sean the friend, started to notice some changes in behavior. He was withdrawn, erratic, depressed. Kim told his family and police that he actually admitted that he was taking Vyvanse, which is basically Adderall.
Right.
So it's for ADD, ADHD types. Well, yeah, it's ADHD now. Bryce didn't have ADHD.
He didn't have a prescription for this.
No.
Oh, so he's
he was taking it
illegally. Okay.
Illegally.
Okay.
If you don't have ADHD and you're taking Vyvanse, you can get some serious side effects from it.
Okay.
You can get side effects from it even if you do have a prescription for it. But the side effects include things like depression, mania, psychosis.
Not good.
Not hypothesis. What am I thinking? What's that word?
I don't know.
Not hypnosis.
Moving on.
No, what is it when you're seeing things that aren't actually there? Hallucinations.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
All of these things are things that could be happening because of Vyvanse, and these are kind of the behaviors that his roommate and Kim were seeing in him.
Yeah, so not good.
Really concerned.
Yeah.
They became even more concerned with Bryce, though, after he started drinking heavily. Sean said he was drinking hard liquor every day, sometimes as much as 2/5 in a single weekend.
Yikes.
Which is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, plus the Vyvanse.
It's
not a good combination.
That's not even college fun. That's
I was gonna say that's more than partying right there.
Yeah, that's middle-aged man depression drinking.
Yeah, that's your midlife crisis drinking.
Yeah.
That's not your sophomore year of college drinking.
No.
Are you looking to buy or sell in 2024? Let Amber White help you find your home sweet home. Amber is a local realtor to the Kokomo and Howard County area, and when I say she knows her stuff, she knows her stuff. When we decided to move closer to family, I literally messaged Amber and told her I wanted to sell my house, and then later I want to buy this house, and she made it all happen. Buying and selling is such an overwhelming process, but Amber seriously took care of every single step and eliminated all the stress for us. Her knowledge was invaluable, and while I say I never want to move again, I know exactly who to call if we decide to. Follow her on Facebook at Amber White, Realtor /broker with Carrie Gruhl and Associates, or you can give her a call at 765-865-1118.
And so, like I said, both Kim and Sean were able to confirm the Vyvanse. They were both able to confirm the drinking. And then Bryce actually confessed to Kim that he had taken the drug because he wanted to stay up to play video games. And so he was staying up for 2 and 3 days at a time.
Not good.
Which I would just sleep deprivation alone can make you crazy.
100% confirmed.
Not adding in Vyvanse and drinking, I cannot even imagine the headspace you would be in if you haven't slept for 3 days and you're on those drugs.
And wasted.
Yeah, that's insane. So she was very alarmed by this. Bryce acted like it was no big deal. But they were pretty sure that, it was getting to the point that something was happening. And so it got to the point, though, where Sean actually called his mom.
Sean called
Sean's
Bryce's
roommate
mom.
called Bryce's mom and was like, I'm worried about
Wow.
I'm worried about Bryce. Which I feel like for a college boy to do that, things are bad.
I had a roommate that went through a lot, and I never even thought about calling his mom. Never even occurred to me.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. And so, like they said, and this is all happening within like the first 2 weeks of classes. And so, Sean and Kim had both contacted Bryce's mom about this. So she was aware of the drug use, and she had actually talked to Bryce about it. And Bryce had said, basically told her like it was just like a one-time thing. He was just playing video games, blah, blah, blah. However, he then, on August 27th, he broke up with Kim via text message and said that she'd be better off without him, which was very alarming.
Yeah, that's not good.
He also sent a very heartfelt message to Sean, the roommate, and said, quote, "I love you, bro. Seriously, you're the best person I ever met. You saved my soul." And he also gave Sean his Xbox and a pair of diamond earrings that he had like a treasured pair of diamond.
These are all super red flags.
Oh yeah, major red flag.
Double red flags.
And so that all happened on August 27th. And so everyone's very concerned. We have Karen, the mom, Kim, the girlfriend, and Sean all have talked to each other. They're very concerned about Bryce. On August 28th, Sean called his mom and said, "Listen, like I'm at Kim's her house, and she won't give me my keys." And she's like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "I want to leave. I came over. We broke up."
Who? Bryce called his mom.
Bryce called his mom. Yes.
Oh, okay. You said Sean. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Bryce called his mom. Him and Kim had broken up, and he had went over to talk to her about it. And Kim had taken his keys. Kim said he was behaving erratically, and she was concerned for him driving. And so Karen's like, "Let me talk to Kim." So Bryce gives the phone to Kim, and Kim is like, "Yeah, he's behaving erratically. Like he doesn't need to be driving." And so then, and I can only imagine Bryce's mom just being like kind of annoyed by all of this because she's worried about her kid, and she's 7 hours away, and now she's in the middle of this girlfriend drama.
Seriously.
But
we tell True, but like he's not allowed to have a girlfriend because he's not supposed to be in the drama. And so now whenever something comes up, if a girl likes him or if he likes a girl, whatever, like he'll eventually end the conversation with, "But I don't want to be in the drama."
The drama. He
The
doesn't
drama.
want any part of it. So there is definitely Bryce is in the drama right now.
Sounds like
so Karen talks to Bryce, and Bryce is completely fine. Like he's completely coherent. He's explaining to his mom. He's like, "Mom, like I'm not been drinking. I know I have been drinking. I know I've been taking the vitamins, but like that was just like a little bit before school started. Like it's not right now. I'm fine." He said, "I came over here because Kim and I broke up and I want to leave and she won't give me my keys." And so Karen obviously takes the side of her son after she spoke with him and realized he was not drunk. He was not intoxicated. He was very with it mentally. And she's like, "Kim, just give him his keys. He sounds fine to me. Let him go home. You guys can talk about it later." And so they decide this, they get the keys back, and Karen said, Bryce, like she said, "I'm very concerned about you. I'm going to get a plane and I'm flying. I'm getting a ticket.
Okay.
And I'm coming to see you tomorrow."
Okay.
And he's like, "Mom, don't come." He said, "I'm going to come home tomorrow." And he said, "There's a lot of things I have to tell you." And he said, I'm leaving Kim's apartment and I'm coming home." So that was at 11:30 at night. Okay. So at 1 a.m. that morning, Bryce called his mom again. So 11:30, now we're getting into a timeline. So I'm going to need your full focus here.
You have it. You have it.
I'm talking to them too. I need y'all's full focus here, okay? 11:30 p.m., he tells his mom, "I'm leaving Kim's apartment. I have a lot of things to tell you. I'm going to come home."
Coming home like right now?
Tomorrow. I'm going to drive home tomorrow.
Okay.
So he's going back to his apartment.
Okay.
Or whatever his roommate and him shared, okay?
Okay.
And I'm coming home tomorrow because I have a lot of things I need to tell you. She's like, "Okay, fine." At 1 a.m., he calls his mom again. She assumes he's calling from his apartment.
Okay.
However, phone records later showed that he had called from a location that was like an hour drive south of Rockland, which is where he lived. Sean confirmed later he actually never came home that night after he left Kim's. Which he never, she just assumed he was going home, I guess.
Sure. Why wouldn't you? Yeah.
And so he had called her at 11 a.m.
1 a.m., you mean?
Or 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah. She thought he was at home and that he was going to start home the next morning, 7-hour drive. Later, they found out he wasn't home. He was actually an hour
On
south.
his way south.
Yeah, which
okay.
they lived 7 hours south.
Right.
At 11 a.m. the next day, so she thinks he went home, he slept, he's going to get up and start driving home the next day. At 11 a.m., her and her husband get notified that their insurance, they have roadside assistance, it had been used. And they were like, what the heck? And they couldn't get a hold of Bryce. And so they logged on to their credit card. Bryce used their credit cards. They gave him money. He was in college. And so they were able to log on, and they saw a charge for castor tire and gas in the town of Buttonwillow, which is only 3 hours from their house.
Okay.
This is a very tiny town. It's literally, I looked it up, it's like an unincorporated town. It has like a gas station and like a dollar store. That's it. So they're like, oh, like he's on his way home. But he's not answering his phone. And so they actually called the castor tire and gas. And they're like, hey, our son, like, used his credit card there this morning.
Yeah.
And they got the owner. His name was Christian. Super nice guy. He's like, oh, yeah. 9 a.m. this morning, your son ran out of gas just down the road. And I delivered 3 gallons of gas to him. And so he could get to the next gas station to fill up. And they were like, oh, okay. And so they told Kristen, like, what was going on. They're like, well, we haven't heard from him, and he's not answering his phone. And Kristen's like, well, it's just down the road. Like, let me go back and see, like, just make sure everything's okay. So he drives back there. Now, this was at 11, and he had given the gas to Bryce at 9. Okay?
2 hours.
2 hours. Bryce is still sitting there in his car. And so Christian walks up to Bryce and he's like, bro, like, your mom's on the phone and she's really worried about you. Like, why are you sitting on the side of the road still? So he gives the phone to Bryce, and his mom, I can only assume, is like,
are you okay?
What the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, and he didn't really have an answer for her. And so she's like, you know what? I don't even care, like, what you're doing.
Stay where you are.
Just what? Okay. You and I would probably say stay where you are.
Oh,
right?
no. Okay.
At this point, would you say that?
I would say don't freaking move.
Okay.
I would tell that guy, like, you need to take his keys if you can.
Right?
Yeah.
That's not what happened.
Oh, no.
His mom is like, listen, like, I don't care what you're doing. I don't know why you're sitting on the side of the road for 2 hours, but you need to get home. Like, come home. You're 3 hours away. So he agreed to make the 3-hour drive home. Christian watched him drive off around noon that day. Okay? They left at noon-ish. 3-hour drive. So he should be home
by 3
o'clock. But he was not. Hours passed. His parents still haven't seen him. He hasn't pulled in the driveway. He's not answering his phone again. So they reluctantly filed a missing persons report around 6 p.m. that night. Now, they filed the report in Orange County because he's supposed to be in Orange County, and the car that he's driving is registered to Orange County because of his parents' car. So the sheriff's department looks into this, and they were able to call AT&T, and AT&T was able to do an emergency ping to locate his phone because, again, his parents paid for the phone, which was good that they were able to track this credit card and this phone this whole time. So they do an emergency ping to locate him, and do you want to guess where his phone pinged? At 6 p.m. Buttonwillow.
The same town that he got gas in?
Town. Just a few miles down the road from where Christian had sent him on his way. So he has been here for like 9 hours now.
He's still there?
9 a.m.
He's still with his car?
So 9 a.m., well, his phone is there.
Okay.
9 a.m. is when Christian gave him the gas. And then he found him at noon. He drove off, was supposed to be home at 3, didn't show up, and then was reported missing at 6. So we're like literally at like 9 hours of just like being in Buttonwillow, and now his phone is pinging in Buttonwillow.
Johnny, question for you.
Yeah.
If I was somewhere in Kokomo and it wasn't our house and it wasn't the flower shop, where would I be?
Easy. Humble home.
Yes, you're right. You guys, listen up. Humble Home is my absolute favorite place to be for so many reasons. No matter what I am looking for, I always check Humble Home first. Clothes, shoes, toys, decor, furniture, makeup, they literally always have something that I need. They have brand name items for cheap. Their inventory is constantly changing, so it's part of my weekly routine to do a Humble Home walkthrough. You absolutely need to stop by. I promise you won't be disappointed. While it is a discount store, it's not your average discount store. It's clean, organized, and everything has its place. I get zero anxiety when I go in, unlike other discount stores. And no matter what you're shopping for, a home project, gifts, home decor, even seasonal decor, they will have it. They are open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Sunday from noon to 5. You can follow them on Facebook at Humble Home Kokomo and watch for new items every single day. And for our Lafayette, Indiana listeners, I have exciting news. They are opening a second location in Lafayette soon. As soon as I have the details, I will let you know their opening date. Get excited.
So the sheriff's department dispatches, the Orange County Sheriff's Department calls the Buttonwillow Sheriff and dispatches a few cops out there. And they go to where his phone pinged, and sitting there on the side of the road in his car is Bryce.
Wait a minute.
Sitting there.
Please tell me.
Just 8 miles from where Kristen had given him gas earlier that day. Sitting there.
Dude, he's not well. Like,
So
his mind is not
the
well.
police get him out. They do a field sobriety test. They check him. They test him. He passes everything. He's completely fine. There's no alcohol, no drugs. They searched his car. They find nothing. And they're like, dude, you need to call your parents. And he, through reports, they said that he was very hesitant to call them. He told the police that he was just chilling. He just needed some time to blow up some steam. So he was just taking his time getting home. Finally, the police dialed for him and were like, talk to your freaking parents. Karen talks to him and she's like, come home.
No.
Yes.
Tell him to... Oh, no.
Why? Hindsight's 2020.
Oh.
I'm sure if they could go back, and they wish they would have gotten in the car and driven.
He's gone 8 miles in 6 hours.
Yeah.
Like, drugs are a factor.
She talked to the police, and she's like, is he okay? And they're like, he's fine. Like, he doesn't appear to be on drugs.
Okay,
He's
but my
not
thing is, like,
intoxicated.
Vyvanse, like, that helps you focus. I feel like anybody could crush a sobriety test when you're
Said
focused
he
like
was
that.
Fine. She has 2 police officers here on the phone with her saying your son is fine. And so he is like, freaking come.
This makes me
home.
sick.
It's going to get worse.
Freaking cuff him. I'd say cuff him.
Right. That's what I would say.
Cuff him.
I'm like, don't let my son out of your sight.
Yeah.
So she tells him to come home, and he's like, okay, yeah, I am. So she hangs up with the police. Bryce is on his way home. The police said he got in his car. He's just driving toward you, okay? Well, later she gets a call from Christian.
No way.
During all of this,
The gas station
the
guy?
gas station guy, who is a complete gem of a person.
I'm really under a
honestly.
seat here. This is wild.
This case lives rent free in my head.
No
okay?
way. I've never heard of this. Go ahead.
Christian's like, hey, I saw I had a missed call from you. And they're like, oh, yeah, that was earlier. Like, we couldn't, you saw him and you sent him home, but he didn't actually come home. And we ended up having to file a missing persons report. And the police came, but it's fine now. The police found him. He's on his way home. And Christian's like, well, I literally, like, Buttonwillow is like a stop sign. Like, I'm right down the road. Do you want me to go check? And they're like, no, the police
Made him go.
He's
Yeah.
gone. They're like, don't worry about it. We appreciate it. Thank you. Well, Christian is like the gem of gems. He's a great guy, apparently. And he's like, it's just giving me bad vibes. Like, I'm just going to go check. So Christian gets on, like, the one road Buttonwillow has, apparently. And he drives down the road. And guess who he finds?
No chance.
So Karen's phone rings, like, 15 minutes later. And it's Christian. And he's like, hey, so I'm here, like, a mile past where the police found your son. And he's here on the side of the road. And she's like, are you freaking kidding me? Bryce, what are you doing? Again, at this point, I think you and I and everyone listening would probably get in the car and again drive the 3 hours and find our son. I don't know why. The parents get a lot of crap for not
That's
intervening a long time before. So Christian is like, okay, y'all, like,
I mean, I get it that he's like
here's what we're gonna do.
20 or 19 or whatever,
Yeah.
but
So Christian's like, listen, the freeway is just up ahead. I'm going to drive Bryce to the freeway. Like, I'm going to follow him to the freeway. And once you stay on this freeway for 3 hours, he's home. Like, I'll make sure he actually gets on the freeway and starts driving toward you. And they're like, okay, thank you so much. And so Christian's like on the phone with Karen and her husband. And he's like, I'm following Bryce. He's driving fine. He's acting fine. He gets him on the freeway. He follows him for 10 miles and is like, okay, I'm going to go back home. He's on his way to you. Like, first of all, what a nice
Seriously,
to go
didn't have to do this. Yeah.
And so he follows Bryce. He tells him back he's on his way to you. So they keep calling Bryce. This time they're like, you are going to be on the phone with us for this 3 hours that you're on the way home, okay?
Sure, fair enough.
So they keep calling him and they keep asking him, where are you? And every single time he's like, it's too dark. I can't see anything. Like there's no landmarks. And he's like, I don't know where I'm at, but my GPS says I'll be home at 3:25 a.m. And so like they said, like consistently every time they talked to him, he said, I don't actually know exactly where I'm at, but like 3:25. Like I'm on the freeway, 3:25 a.m. So at 2:09 a.m. on August 30th, Bryce called his mom one more time to tell her that he was too tired to drive. He said he's been up for over 24 hours. He said he needs to pull over and sleep.
No.
She agrees. She doesn't want him to get in a wreck.
What?
And so she says, yes, pull over, sleep for a couple hours, and we'll see you in the morning.
What?
6 hours later, her doorbell rings. However, it was not Bryce. It was a California Highway Patrol officer. And he informed Mike and Karen that their son, his car, the one that was registered to them, Bryce's car, was found abandoned near Castaic Lake, which is just 1 hour south of Button freaking Willow.
What?
And 2 hours from their home. It appeared that Bryce had driven off of the road up this like access road that, okay, you'll have to picture this. Ever since I've heard this case, I have a certain picture in my head. I could draw it for you all, but you guys are going to form your own, image in your head. So I'm just going to tell you this and I've seen pictures of it and stuff, but it's an access road. He veered off the road to this access road and it goes up a hill towards a cell tower. But then it passes the cell tower and starts to go down the other side of the hill toward the lake. Apparently from the top of the hill, it looks like if you're going to go down this hill, you're going to land in the lake. But when you actually get to the bottom of the hill, the lake is kind of far away. And there's just a 25-foot cliff that the end of the hill, you get to the edge of the cliff and then you would go over the cliff, drop 25 feet, and then you'd have to go another distance to actually get in the lake. His car was found at the bottom of that cliff on its side.
So it fell off the cliff?
Yes. The rear window was shattered and had been pushed out from the inside, the whole back window. They found just a few drops of his blood inside the car. They found his phone and his laptop inside the car, but his wallet and duffel bag were outside the car. And there
As in, not there, or they were by the car?
By the car, but outside of it. No trace of Bryce. Never been seen again.
Wait a minute.
What in the world? Police did a full search of the area. Divers in the lake, dogs, helicopters, ATVs, horseback, everything. They did not find anything except 2 pictures. Okay? There is a surveillance camera on the access road that takes pictures of any cars that go up the hill, their license plate number. It took 2 pictures. At 2:15 a.m., it took a picture of Bryce's car going up the hill. Okay? And
Which is right after he called his mom.
Right after he called his mom, yeah. And then at 4:29 a.m., 2 hours later, it took another picture of Bryce's car going up the hill. So apparently there's another way off the hill.
So he went up the hill twice.
He went up the hill twice.
Why did I get chills when you just told me that?
Because it's freaking creepy as hell. What was he doing? Was he driving the car both times? It takes pictures of the license plate number. There's so many questions around this case. I can't even wrap my mind around it. So the police on day 9 of him being missing in this missing person investigation, they bring in police dogs to track his scent. So they track his scent from the car across a bridge to a nearby truck stop where it went cold.
What?
Since then, there have been 0 leads as to what happened to Bryce that night.
Did you know the Jefferson House of Flowers has been a local Kokomo florist for almost 100 years? Our trained designers make beautiful arrangements for literally any occasion. You can send flowers for any reason. Birthdays, anniversaries, get well, congratulations. The list goes on. We make flowers for funerals, weddings, proposals, and even proms. Let's be honest. Receiving flowers, whether you're at home or at your work, it makes you feel special. You get butterflies and you feel loved, and that's what sending flowers is all about, the feeling it creates. Call us at 765-452-8269 and let us create something special and send it out for you. Or you can stop in and see us at 4300 West, 100 North Kokomo. We always have a cooler full of flowers that are ready to go, as well as a boutique full of gifts. Shop local, support local, and send flowers.
So much to unpack here. Like, where do I even begin? So I'll tell you this. The police, that without a body, the case is not closed. So many theories. There's so many things that happen here. But the detectives on this case believe that he abandoned his old life for a new one and assumed a new identity or lives off the grid. They believe he is living his life somewhere else. The truck stop indicates this, and leaving behind his phone and his wallet and his laptop indicate this. That is where the investigators stand on this case. The family, they believe one of 2 theories. They believe some sort of foul play. They don't like that his car was driven up that hill twice.
I mean, that's sketchy.
Super sketchy. Or some sort of mental breakdown. Men usually experience a mental breakdown somewhere between turning 18 and 25, and Bryce was like 19. So he was also the laundry list of red flags that I listed before with his behavior and how he's acting.
Giving his friends stuff.
I mean,
Breaking up via text.
Oh, the breakup, you're better off without me. Here's my most prized possession, my Xbox and my diamond earrings, and you changed my life, you saved me, all this crap. Like, 100% sounds like a suicide.
Or running away. Yeah.
It looks like a suicide attempt to me if he thought that his car was going to like careen off the cliff into the lake, but then he like landed on the ground and was like, oh crap. And then kicked out his back window. If he was trying to unalive himself that night and he failed with the car wreck into the lake scenario, then kicked the back window out and decided to do it a different way, where's his body?
Yeah, for sure.
So that, to me, doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Well, and the fact that he went to the truck stop. You don't go to the truck stop to kill yourself.
Well, you don't be like,
you go to the truck stop to leave.
I just tried to run off a cliff. It didn't work. I'm just going to go get a snack at the truck stop instead. That doesn't make sense. So, I mean,
I have no clue.
No one does. No one does. It's very possible that the alcohol and the Vyvanse caused a complete psychotic break. His parents believe that if he is alive, he doesn't know who he is. They said there's no way that he would not contact them. And so
he moved across the country to be near them.
Exactly. And so they're like, you know, if he is alive, if his the detectives think he abandoned his life on purpose, his parents think that if it's a mental break, he's living like as a homeless person somewhere, or like, you know, went somewhere else and he doesn't know who he is.
Wow.
It's also possible that he did die that night and that you can't find his body. I don't think that one's likely though.
I mean, if you went to if the dogs say truck stop, I say truck stop.
I agree. I think if he was in the lake, his body would have. It's not cold there. It's not like it froze or anything. I mean,
right.
His behavior points to suicide to me, in my opinion. But then again, the way that the scene was doesn't look like suicide. His mom I mean, it's just a tragedy for everybody involved. His mom has said, "I'll never give up hope." It's gut wrenching every day. It is a living nightmare.
I can't imagine.
His parents still issue missing persons posters and like are very active in finding where he is.
Wow.
They have absolutely no idea.
Wow. What year did you say this was again?
So, the other thing that's interesting about this case is that Bryce is a redheaded, a very tall, like redheaded guy. And so I'll definitely post a picture of him. And there's a missing person page on Facebook and stuff that you can look up to. It's called Find Bryce Laspisa. I believe the year that he disappeared, what is it, 2013, I think? Yeah, 2013. But he is like this very distinctive looking guy. Like, I feel like if I saw him in public, I'd be like, dude, that's Bryce. Like, I know who that is. And so, I don't know. I just think it's interesting, like, to think that, like, what if that has happened before? Like, he has a very, like, tattoo, a big tattoo on his left shoulder that's very, like, unique too. And so it's like, I just think that, like, you would recognize him.
Man. That's why, like, I don't like it at all. Obviously, I don't like any of these cases, but that one, you said 2013?
August 30th, 2013 is when he went missing, yes.
Jeez.
So, I mean, if he's very distinctive features, I guess. I don't really know how to explain it.
But, I mean, like, he's like, he looks like he's got it together, you know? Like, he's like...
yeah, no, but he did. And that's why it's like, I mean, he did have a very normal life. He was a good student and everything. And so... you know, if he did, you know, choose suicide that night, it's so sad either way. But I just don't think there's enough here to definitively, I mean, there's not enough to definitively say anything, but I don't think there's really enough. I don't know,
to
it's kind of 50-50, honestly.
See, I don't know.
There's a lot that points to suicide, but there's a lot that doesn't point to it too.
To me, sitting in the same small, motionless town for what, like 9 hours that day?
Literally, yeah.
Drugs.
Yeah.
Like the Vyvanse or whatever it is.
He was on something.
Like something. He was on something.
But it doesn't make sense to me. What bugs me about that is like the 2 police officers and our friend Kristen here saw him and everybody said he was fine.
I don't know that if you were overdosing on Vyvanse, I don't know if you would show craziness. It's like a hyper focus. Like any task you'd be given, you'd probably be great at it.
I don't know. I mean, maybe that, but I'm saying like, I don't think overdosing on Vyvanse though is what would cause you to do these things. I think the mental break from the Vyvanse would be what.
That's what I'm saying.
And that would be obvious. A mental breakdown would be obvious.
Like, I mean, obviously something. I feel like some mental break had happened.
Though, like,
but maybe he wasn't on that yet. Maybe he was just still riding the focus train, the 7 levels of the candy cane focus train. And it was just like, but see, like, to me, it's like, okay, if you were that focused, why keep pulling over? Like, why is it like, oh, I got to pull over and sit here for 6 hours? Like, I don't know. That's so weird to me.
I'm telling you, rent free in my head. In this case. I am not kidding you. When I see redheaded people in public, I do a double take at them. Because I think of Bryce Laspisa.
Wow. Yeah, that's wild.
And
that's
I hope you all do too from here on out. Because
it's a wild situation there.
I don't know.
So like they think that he had a mental break and currently still 11 years later could be alive and not know who he is.
Oh yeah. Like the police are saying that they think he could be alive. And listen, I just read about a case a couple weeks ago, a guy that literally he had a mental break and they found him he was a homeless guy like down in Texas and he was from I think like Arkansas and he went missing and they found his truck on campus and literally he was a missing person for like 5 years and they found him and he was living as a homeless man and he had a mental break and he just completely had no idea who he was, where he was, and he just ended up being some town's crazy homeless man.
Wow.
But he actually had a whole life.
I mean, that tattoo is like distinctive.
Oh, yeah. Very distinctive.
Yeah. What a wild case. Man, I don't even know if anybody knows anything. Like someone might literally, there might literally be nobody knows anything. Instead of someone knows something
Well,
on
no,
this
this
one.
might be a
Like if he
case.
doesn't know who he is,
Nobody, literally.
this
nobody
was like
knows, not even
literally
close.
nobody knows jack crap in this case.
Ew, I hate that. Like, it's
Yeah.
gross. Nobody knows
Jack crap.
nothing. No one knows nothing in this case.
Wow.
They hate it.
Wild.
But what if somebody does? What if somebody at the truck stop knows? He went to the truck stop, obviously. Do you trust the dogs?
Yeah.
So if he was
Dogs
at a
say.
truck stop,
I say what the dogs say.
if he was at a truck stop, then I would say he's alive.
Fair. Did he get a bus back to Buttonwillow? He was there for like 12 hours.
Maybe he's living in Buttonwillow. I don't know.
My goodness, that's wild.
I have no idea.
Yikes. Gosh, those parents got to beat themselves up every day, I bet.
Yeah,
So
they get a lot of slack online for how they handled it, which I mean,
your kid's 19, like it's a handle care situation, but also like I feel like especially the second time when I found out he was still in Buttonwillow, I'd be like, all right, well, I'm going
something
to
girl.
Buttonwillow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely yeah, it definitely a weird case. I don't like it.
Man.
Like I said, this one's rent free in my head all the time. I'll post a picture of Bryce so you all can just creep on any redhead that you see as well
For the rest of your
for
life.
the rest of your life.
This podcast is a So.Will.I.Studos production. So will I. Whether you're a team of 1 or 1,000, Bo Digital can help make your marketing goals a reality.
Let's be honest, most of us who run our own businesses need help in the marketing category. Either you have no clue what an algorithm is or you just don't have time to mess with it, Bo can help you with that. They offer an a la carte menu of marketing services where you can take what you need. It can be your website, your socials, newsletters, or even blogs. Bo can help you take some of it off your plate and free up time for you to focus more on the things that you love. I personally use Bo Digital in my own small business, and I love them and the team that they have and the knowledge that they possess is far beyond anything that I could do on my own. If you're looking to grow your business, you have to put a bow on it. You can reach out to them on their website, bowdigital.com, or on Facebook, BOWE digital.com.